Welcome to Deep Thought. How dreams predict the future. How dreams predict the future. Now, I know some people might want to get into the more metaphysic aspect of it, but it's actually a more practical way that dreams predict the future. Now, remember when I talked about just dreams in general, they're coming from their communications from your subconscious. And then I also talked about how dreams see everything around us, feel everything, hear everything. All right. Now, how do they predict the future? Remember, as I said, your subconscious got kind of a mind of its own. Now it's a mind that serves your conscious mind, especially if you know what to do, but it still goes in its own direction and everything. Right. And if you think about the subconscious, remember I said your conscious represents 5 to 10% of your your thoughts that you're aware of, your actions that you're aware of, but the subconscious is actually bigger. That's the other 90%. Like it's a subconscious thing in how you walk. You don't have to constantly think about walking. You just do. The subconscious is deep to the point it keeps your body running. You don't have to tell your heart, oh yeah, start beating. Or, you don't have to tell your genitals to get excited. Or, you don't consciously think, oh, I need to scratch this or something, or whatever the case. It's just there. It keeps your body running. That's how deep it is, right? So anyway, how does it predict the future? Well, it's a very simple thing. All right, your subconscious sees everything happening, right? It's analyzing situations and everything. Okay, you have a dream, and it's seemingly about the future. And usually it's going to be about not like, something that's happened on a global scale, but what's going on. It'll bring in everything, and more or less at best it'll point out how you would react to what's going on a scale. And I'm going to tell you what, that's deep to the point. You might be able to have some dreams about what's going on in the world, but that's because you're someone who reads a lot of news, you're taking in a lot of information, you're subconsciously taking in the pulse of the people. Now, what happens is this, because even those who claim psychic ability, they don't really know the future. What they really do is consciously, or however way they do it, what they do is basically read where you at now and extrapolate and project into the future. It's like a good doctor, they can give you an examination and they could say, hey, you're in danger for a heart attack. You're in danger for a stroke. You're in danger for some diabetes or something. Now, they don't know the future. It might not happen. But they can look at you as you are now and see where you're going. Just like a good mechanic. A good mechanic can go under the hood of the car, look at everything, and tell basically what's going to happen with it. How's this going to end up? And that's like for those who deal with that more metaphysics side, that's all the psychic readers are doing. They're reading you in the moment. Now, what your dream is reading the whole situation, and then the dream can tell you, all right, this can happen. Like if you have some medical issues, your dream knows it. Like in the last podcast, I talked about, you might have dreams about a house which can represent you. And the house is constantly falling apart. And it's saying, hey, if you don't change something, this house is going to burn. It's going to fall apart. So you see what the future is. It's telling you what can happen. That's why many people, they can have some dreams and they say, hey, I saw this happening. Like they could have a dream about somebody else, right? They could one of their relatives. Now, they might consciously see something about their relative, but subconsciously they see something greater. And it's actually more accurate because it's not influenced by any biases or anything. So they see something, and they might have a dream. Say, I had a dream about you. You were getting involved in all this trouble and stuff, and happening. And you might, they might look at you. Yeah, how'd you know that? And consciously, you might not know that. You might not have known, but your subconscious picked up on it. Your subconscious picked up on the body language signs that your conscious probably missed. or, the sight, sounds. It could have heard something that you didn't consciously pay attention to. Like, here's an example. Say you at a party or something, and there's a bunch of people. This person that you like saw had a dream about, had something bad. They were talking with another person about something serious, but they were out of your conscious earshot, but your subconscious picked it up. That's how deep it is. It's picking up every single thing, every single sensation, every single body read, and even the energy that someone's projecting. And it's saying, and it'll tell you, oh, this person going to have an issue, or this person is this way, or your dream could predict another thing, that a person has some negative intentions towards you, even if consciously you don't want to know it, right? Like, okay, here's a situation. A lady friend, a former lady, well, we still cool, told me about, right? And she was in a relationship with this one dude, right? She was in a relationship, but then she had this guy who she had friend zoned in the past, who was trying to find a way in. He was offering something like some indirect stuff. But then she had a dream that her and the guy that she was in a relationship with, had built a house, but then this other guy came and was doing some stuff to destroy it. And what that dream told her was, really what it was, the subconscious had picked up. It's like, nah, this dude ain't sincere. He trying to get at you. He ain't trying to like help you with a business project. He trying to get at you sexually, and he's trying to destroy this relationship. So the dream told her that, right? The dream told her that, because in the dream he was trying to destroy the house that her and this man she was in a relationship had built. So she was like, oh. And it wasn't like any magic or anything. The subconscious just picked it, read the situation perfectly. So it said, subconscious sitting there like, all right, I got to tell him. All right, let me have this dream, right? So I use a symbol of a house and everything. I'm going to get into that in the next podcast on dreams. So it's always going to tell you, always pay attention. You can see stuff. You can see how someone's reacting, right? Like, I know another dream. And this dude actually told me I could share this if I ever talked about dreams on here. So if you're listening, dude, if you feel like shouting yourself out, go ahead. But he had been dealing with this woman, right? He'd been dealing with this woman, even married to the woman, right? And he told me before they separated and divorced, he would always have dreams where she would disappear on him. Like he couldn't find her. He didn't know what she was doing. He would constantly have those dreams. All right? Until eventually she actually asked him for a divorce. Right? And then, and I talked with him. I said, well, what was happening is, well, I use the term spirit, but like right here, I'll use the term subconscious. Subconscious actually had picked up on her intentions and what she was doing and her actions, and was trying to tell the dude through the dreams, like, dude, this is what's happening. This is how she really feeling about some stuff. He even told me he had a dream about her hooking up with this guy that they both knew. And, well, dude, if you want to shout yourself out in this thing, go ahead. But, remember, you told me I could tell this. I ain't calling your name. But anyway, right? She actually had a dream about this dude that they both knew and him and this woman hooking up. And from what he told me, his ex-wife hooked up with this dude, even though nothing showed on the surface that there was any interest between them. But he said, yeah, he was telling me. He was like, man, dude, yeah, tell this to the people too. Yeah, I saw all that shit. So, like I said, dude, if person I was talking about, if you care to shout yourself out, go ahead. But that's how powerful dreams are. And I was sharing that as a lesson. It'll tell you stuff. It can predict what's going on and let you know, because it sees below the surface. It sees directly what's happening. So, that's how it can predict the future. It sees what's happening now and can extrapolate. Say, okay, this can happen. This is the possibility. So, what y'all think on that? So, anyway, think on this. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Peace.